Oh yeah, without a doubt, that was a tough game of footy. You can see by the amount of injuries to both sides as well. You know, it was a real tough game, and we obviously got off to a good start with that first try, but you know, they fought back nearly straight away, and then you know they had the best of it for a fair while, and then we seemed to have the end of the first half. We're down their try line a fair bit. That was like when Cameron scored. You know, we sort of looked like, you know, we turned and were playing, you know, pretty good then, but we just lacked that little bit of execution, you know, to put a lot of pressure on them. And I think that was because Cameron wasn't there, to be quite honest, obviously how important he is to us. But we sorted that out at half time, and you know, we still obviously missed him, but at the end of the day, I thought, you know, Brandon come in and done a real good job in the two halves, and Paps sort of took a little bit more control. So, you know, I thought our second half was quite measured actually, and you know, pretty happy with how they handled that. You know, when Cameron wasn't there. Yeah, he's got a shoulder AC joint. I think they're sort of thinking it's a grade 2, so he'll probably miss, you know, 2 or 3 weeks, I'd imagine. So. Scoring the try, yeah. So.
It was a bittersweet moment for him, Craig, because it was 46.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell us about that? Did you want when he?
Yeah, I thought they, you know, should have went outside to Josh actually and make it a bit easier. So he's got punished for equaling the try score. But yeah, like I say, he's just. You know, he's been pushing up in the middle, you know, so well. You know, especially this year, it seems to be something that he has improved in, to be quite honest. And he's had a few opportunities, you know, to score a try, and probably hasn't had the pace in a couple of other games, but he had the pace there tonight. But unfortunately, that's when, you know, he hurt his shoulder getting across. I don't know who come across and made that tackle on the line, but I think he probably had to stretch out a little bit, and that's where he's done the damage.
It's going to test you, Craig, without him for 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to be a good test for your side, I guess.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, you know. But everyone goes through injuries, so you know we've got to learn to deal with it. You know, for the amount of footy he's played, you know, he doesn't miss many games, or he hasn't missed many games. So, you know, he's had a great influence on our team. You know, and so yeah, it's going to be a real test for us, without a doubt. But got a lot of confidence in, you know, Brandon to come in and replace him. You know, he's a different style of player, but you know, we think he'll do a real good job. And as I said, we just need to probably get the, you know, the halves and the fullback, and probably a couple of our experienced ruck players just to take a little bit more responsibility, I suppose, with our communication on what we're doing and how we're doing it. So yeah, that's one thing we'll need to work on, you know, while he's out. But like I say, it'll be a good test for us, but it's something that I think we're all really looking forward to. And yeah, and I said at half time, you know, this is going to be a bit of a test here. You know, they're going to come after us, and you know, we haven't got Cameron, so we need everyone to stand up. And you know, to my way of thinking, I thought they did a really good job there.
What do you think of Keenan? He seems to be finding his feet a lot more in first grade.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not quite sure he had the impact that he's had in other games tonight, but where he was wonderful for us, you know, with a few injuries we had, when he went on, he didn't come off again. So that's the first time he's played right through from when he's gone on. So, you know, I'd imagine he's probably played 60, 65 minutes tonight, which is, you know, that's the longest he's played. And, like I say, I thought he was certainly how he sort of timed his game and sort of stayed out of it when he did get a little bit tired. But when we really needed him, he stood up, you know, and for such a young guy, you know, I thought he'd done a tremendous job. And, you know, give him a bit of a rap there in front of the team as well. So his game tonight was outstanding.
Your chairman's very keen to keep you on, Craig. He went public and said he really wants to wrap you up for a few more years yet. So what do you make of that?
Yeah. As I said, you know, I've got a contract to the end of next year, so that's probably when I'm looking to finish. So, but you know, like I say, there's a lot of things happening at the moment that they've been probably a little bit distracting, and sometimes they can tire you out of the touch. So perhaps I'm in that sort of mood at the moment. But again, I just still have 18 months to go. So at the end of the day, things might change. But if they put a timeline on me, well, I'll have to make a decision. But at the moment, it's just sort of getting through each week and doing the best we can on the weekend.
Passion's still there, though, Craig. What obviously is just watching you and listening to the ball.
Oh yeah, like I say, I've always loved the game. It's always been part of my life, So, but like I say, there's probably a few other things in life now. I'm a grandfather now, and I want to try and spend a bit more time with them and whatever. So, but like I say, I've got a contract to the end of next year, and then we'll just have a bit of a think about as we go along.
Craig, considering that Victoria, how much of a boost would this win be for your Melbourne fan base down there? It's in a pretty tough situation.
Yeah, hopefully it is giving them a little bit of a boost. It's couldn't quite imagine what they're going through at the moment, and it seems like a really dire situation, and just seems to be bad news on bad news every day. And the people that I really, we're obviously our supporters and everyone in Melbourne, we're really feeling for them at the moment, and hopefully, our members and our supporters are really, I suppose, getting some joy out of us, with what we've done so far this year. So hopefully, we can play our part there. I'd also like, on behalf of the Storm, like to thank all the first responders in Melbourne. The AMBOs, doctors and nurses, the police, the army that's in there now, doing a certain job as well. I don't think anyone can really understand what their responsibility is, and probably how difficult it is to do that job at the moment. So, on behalf of everyone from the Storm, we're really thinking of all those, guys and girls that are, in that situation. The first responders, and they've got a huge responsibility, and it's got to be a tough job. But and sometimes they think it's probably a thankful job, but I know all of us, some of us are still, obviously got family in Melbourne, we've got friends, our admin staff, they're all down there as well. So, on behalf of everyone at the club, we'd like to thank those first responders for the job they're doing, and, hopefully things will start improving soon.
Just one thing on Wally Carr, the club you had Wally Carr's name inside of the collar. How special was that? And considering what sort of a man he was to put on such a performance on such an occasion as well.
Yeah, well, obviously him and Josh, were, especially close, like grandson and grandfather. So, and I think he was Josh's, guy that, or the person he really looked up to in life. And Wally was, his record as a boxer in Australian boxing is unparalleled. He had 101 fights, and he held 8 Australian titles at different weight divisions. So, and I think it's been sort of written about a little bit, but he come down to one of our camps in Geelong. He was supposed to stay for 4 hours, ended up staying for 4 days. That's how much he enjoyed it, and we really enjoyed having him around. A gifted athlete like that went through a real tough upbringing and turned into the man he did. So the one thing that I learned about Wally Carr, watching him, I was a bit of a boxing fan as a kid, so watching him on TV ringside and whatever, was how tough he was. But he was a really proud man, and I suppose that was a couple of traits that we wanted to show on the field today. Tough and proud of what we do, and I suppose that was, was Indigenous round, and, being Josh's grandfather and being the person you know, he was and the athlete he was, and most of the guys, you know, got to meet him. So, yeah, so, you know, it was a pretty special day for Josh, and, yeah, hopefully he'll remember this. Yeah. Yeah. We had 3 days off this week because of along the turnaround. You know, we played last Friday, and it's not ideal, but we're going to give the players a few more days off this week because it's going to be our last week of freedom, or freedom as we know it. So it's going to, you know, really tighten up, you know, after our game next Saturday. So, and like, as I said, it's not going to be ideal for our preparation, but at the end of the day, there's a couple of more important things sort of happening at the moment. So we're going to do that, and then hopefully, you know, we know it's going to be a difficult time, you know, when that happens. But at the end of the day, we just got to live with it and move on.
That freedom, you just mentioned it, freedom as you know, how important has that been, and is that as the results that you've got been indicative of that freedom that you've had here in the basic?
Yeah, well, that's been normal freedom. You know, we haven't been able to go to a pub or a surf club or, you know, we haven't been able to go to anyone's house. Like, my daughter lives on the Gold Coast. I would have loved to have gone down there to see her for a couple of days, but I'm not allowed, you know. So, you know, there's still a lack of freedom in certain situations at the moment for us, but at least at the moment we can go for a walk up the local cafe and get a cup of coffee and whatever. But we're not going to be able to do that after next week. So there'll be, you know, there'll be some things that'll come out of that that's going to be really difficult for us. So it has been reasonably difficult already, but hopefully, you know, we'll find ways around it. Well, not around it, find ways to get through it, and just make sure, you know, we're supporting each other, and obviously, you know, keeping the guys entertained. I think that's the biggest thing. So, you know, we have a few, like a comedy night and a night where everyone just takes a piss out of each other and whatever. So we'll probably have a few more of them on. But like I say, it will be difficult. But at the end of the day, that's our situation at the moment, you know, as rugby league players. So that's what we'll need to do. But I've been real proud of them how they've handled it so far. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we can keep getting it done and keep getting it done on the field as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.